So to make the tonic herbal tea base for the money shot elixir, I am going to begin with several raw herbs that I have ready in this container here. It's just for storage. I'm not specifically measuring any amount here. Just small handfuls of a variety of herbs. And I'll describe them to you as I prepare this herbal tea. So the first thing I'm going to add in here is called Horny goatweed, and I have it in a separate bag here just because I wanted to add it separately because it's a finer grind, so you wouldn't have been able to see it. It would all just sunk to the bottom of this. But yes, horny goatweed has a very interesting cultural history to it. It's a Chinese herb. It's called Yin Jing in Chinese, and it is a Yin Jing herb. Now this is a specific herb that I actually wouldn't consider a tonic herb because it's not meant for long-term consumption. It expels wind and dampness in the body and is specific for the kidney organ system and the liver. And so it's a very powerful Jing herb. However, again, like I said, long-term consumption is contraindicated. And if you're getting symptoms of dizziness or nosebleed, that would be a good reason to stop taking this herb. So this is perhaps the one ingredient in this elixir that I'm making in the herbal tea base that would make this elixir not something you'd want to take every day. If you took this specific herb out and replaced it with another type of Yin Jing Tonic, you'd have a better long-term elixir for regular consumption. So the next thing I'm going to add here, well, I'll describe all the herbs in here. This is He Shi Wu. I've done videos on this in the past. It's a Yin Jing Tonic. It's very powerful. You can take this every day for the rest of your life and not have any problems with it. This form of it here is just in these little thin chips. Another Yin Jing Tonic is this herb here, which is Astragalus Root. And it is also called Shatavari in the Ayurvedic and Indian tradition. And in China, it is known as Tianmendong. So yes, it is a Yin Jing Tonic, like I said, but it's also a Shen Tonic. So this tea is going to have some other properties to it, which will be beneficial to the whole body and not just the sexual centers per se. So another one I have in here is an herb called Sistanchi. And this is a Yang Jing Tonic. So out of all the herbs we've added so far, or that I've talked about, I'm going to add the rest that are in here in a minute. We have 2 Yang Jing Tonics and 2 Yin Jing Tonics, so that's going to create a very balanced overall Jing tonifying energy to this, to the elixir base, the tonic tea base. And this here, there's a few of them. I put in some licorice root. It's just been sliced, and it is a very good herb to add to tonic teas as a to bring together all the constituents in a tea. It's very harmonizing, and it's actually known for its ability to detoxify any negative side effects that may occur from the combinations of herbs that are not in the best interest for your health. It has actually been shown in scientific studies in China to detoxify over 1,000 different toxic compounds. And so another thing I have in here in very small amounts is cinnamon bark, and this is a chopped up cinnamon bark. It doesn't look like cinnamon obviously, but it's Chinese cinnamon, which has slightly different properties from regular cinnamon. And it is very dispersing to the energy that is accumulated in the body from this tea, so it helps bring the properties of the entire elixir throughout the entire body. It opens up capillaries much in the same way that cacao does, and stimulates blood flow. And then the final herb that's just in here, they're really tiny and I've all sunk to the bottom, is Andra Berries, and that's just a few of them there. And Andra Berries are an overall whole body tonic, so they can be called a Jing Tonic, but they are specific to the entire body. There's not one specific area of the body that they stimulate more than others. very beautifying, so beauty is always a good thing, whether you're male or female. And yeah, so that was all the herbs I already discussed. Just the rest of the ones that I didn't pick out all at once. Oh, and at the bottom, actually, I did miss something. Was one piece of Astragalus Root. So I just broke that in half. And Astragalus is a chi tonic that boosts Wei Qi in the body, which is basically the immune system. It's the Chinese term for the immune system is Wei Qi. And it is also the energetic opposite to Shatavari, which boosts Ying Qi. Not Yin Qi, but Ying, Y-I-N-G. So we've got the properties of Jing, and then also Yin and Yang properties of Qi as well. Finally, just for the tea here, I'm going to add a little bit of a loose vanilla tea I had hanging around. And this is just to add some great flavor to the tea. Vanilla has the properties of being an aphrodisiac already. So again, it's just adding more aphrodisiacs to this very potent, sexually stimulating, fertility enhancing, Jing tonifying tea. So here I've got some spring water in this big green spherical jug of mine, and I've got other jugs under the blanket here. It's fresh spring water. I actually just harvested it today, and I'm going to pour some in this container for the tea. We really just need enough to fill this pot. I'm spilling it as I pour, but that's okay. A lot of people are familiar with the work of Paul Kuchikov, and he discovered the leukocytosis that occurs, which is the onrush of white blood cells to the digestive tract after cooked food that is devoid of enzymes has been eaten. And he also later on discovered the same thing about heated water. The purpose for doing it at a low temperature is it preserves the structure of water, preserves the electromagnetic potential in the spring water, and that will degrade once it goes past a temperature around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. I'm not totally clear on that, but basically if you keep it at a temperature that doesn't go beyond what you're comfortable leaving your finger in, it won't be detrimental to the properties of the spring water. And it'll also preserve some other things in the herbs that you may get in the tea that you wouldn't otherwise if you were to boil it. So if you truly want to take your raw food lifestyle to the next level, you can experiment with raw tea by not heating it over that temperature, which I'm not 100% clear on. David Wolf talks a lot about this information. And yeah, you can test that just by keeping your finger in there. And even on my stove, on the lowest setting, after maybe 2 hours, it's actually getting pretty warm, to the point where I actually do need to take my finger out, so I turn it off then for like maybe another hour until it's cooled down enough. Then I might turn it up to the minimum setting again for another couple hours, maybe 1 hour tops really, because it's already pretty warm. And I'll leave it until I can't stand putting my finger in it again, and I'll turn it off and I'll strain it. I'll put it into a larger pot, and I'll use a strainer so that I don't end up with the herbs in here. And then I'll fill this with water and repeat the process a second time, and then a third time as well. So you end up with one large pot full of nice, raw, potent, aphrodisiac herbal tonic elixir. Or herbal tea base, rather, for your elixir. So the tea actually got up to heat pretty quickly, so I've just turned it off. It was less than an hour, and yeah, that's a little too hot even for my finger. So yeah, just keep a watchful eye on your tea, because most stoves, even on minimum, they will eventually reach a simmer. So if you're wanting to explore making raw tea, or raw herbal teas, that's one thing to watch out for. If you're interested in using these herbs that I've talked about, I'll be adding those herbs in the info box as I write articles on them, and then I'll have sources for places you can purchase them if you need to. And in those articles I'll have links to the sites that I believe have the best prices and quality of whole organic bulk herbs.